By profession, Dr. Mehta is an orthopedic surgeon. He specializes in arthroscopy and sports medicine. But he is equally passionate about getting people their life back through this program, as you will see in a short while. I take this opportunity to thank Dr. Rashid Mehta for taking time out to conduct these sessions for us and our friends. So let's welcome Dr. Rashid Mehta.
Hey, hi guys. Nice to be with you on this wonderful, quiet, peaceful, decreasing pollution evening. And I think what is on the top of our minds is our health nowadays, because what I think is happening in the world, which no one ever thought would happen, is because, in my humble personal opinion, a colossal lack of health. I mean, people are falling sick, which means it's a lack of health. And so let's really get into what is health in this introduction to health chat that we shall have. It's not going to be a long chat. It's just to see if we are on the same wavelength, so that then we can move forward on what we can do to actually get better health. Essentially, the concept that people have about health is not exactly spot on. I know this because as a doctor, I also didn't have a pristine, beautiful concept of what is health. That developed, and I want to share that story with you. I want to share that perspective with you. And at the end of our chat today, if you understand what is health a bit, if you understand that health is a feeling, and if you want that feeling badly, then my mission will have been accomplished. What we do after that, don't worry, we'll work it out for you. So very often, I tend to ask people two questions. The first question I ask people is health your number one priority, or is wealth your number one priority? And most people say health. Nah, it's not. Wealth is everyone's number one priority. Not everyone, but most people like to say it's health. Start to make health your number one priority. The second question I like to ask people is, are you healthy? And again, people start thinking, and some people say yes, and some people say no. What are they basing their answer on? They're basing their answer on whether they have a disease or not. So if somebody, for example, has got diabetes, or someone has got high blood pressure, or somebody has got arthritis, they will say, nahi yaar, ye bimari hai, I'm not healthy. On the other hand, someone will say, nahi, cardiac problem nahi hai, diabetes ho, blood report kiya tha, sab kuch normal hai, I am healthy. Is this correct? Well, actually not. Who says not? Not me, not the medical community. The epitome of health, the World Health Organization, which today has again shot into prominence because there's a crisis in the world. Unfortunately, the WHO gets heard only when there's a crisis. Whereas all the time it is giving guidelines on health, which nobody, well, very few people listen to. That's what we'll be talking about. We're not talking about what is my impression of health or what is your impression of health or maza mana pramane health is this. We are talking about what is the definition of health as given by the World Health Organization in its constitution, not recently, decades ago. I'm not going to go into the detailed definition of that. That is available on the web and everything. But let's understand that definition. That is more important. What the World Health Organization says in their definition, or what it implies, is that just if you don't have a sickness does not necessarily mean that you're healthy. What it means is if you don't have a sickness, need not be that you're healthy. So if you don't have a disease yet, you could be healthy or you may not be healthy. What does that depend on? It depends on the presence of something, is what the World Health Organization says. It depends whether you are in a state in a state of perfect well-being. Now, this word is a little alien for people. What is this well-being? A well-being is a feeling. Well-being is happiness, vitality, vibrancy, enthusiasm, being alert all the time, strength, stamina. These are the things which are a feeling of well-being. And the World Health Organization says that you need to be in that state of well-being in order to be healthy. I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted with messages popping up all over the time. All right. So let's understand this. If you have well-being and you don't have a lifestyle disease, you are healthy. If you don't have well-being and you don't have a sickness, you are in this zone which we are calling unhealthy or unwell. So you have well-being, you're well. You don't have well-being, you're unhealthy or unwell. And when that stage continues for a while, many people get manifestation of a disease. Diabetes doesn't come like the virus that is going around by contagion, by being communicable, by spreading from person to person. So how does diabetes, how does high blood pressure, how does hypothyroidism, how does cancer spread? It doesn't spread. It's just a lack of well-being that allows these diseases to come up in a body which is not functioning properly. So why do our bodies not function properly? Because they don't have well-being. That is what the WHO is trying to implement, that well-being is not only a good state of body, but also of mind, but also of a social fabric. And if you understand that definition properly, it gives you a way on how to live. That is the introduction to health, that we actually don't have a white zone. And colors are not important, but I'm just giving an idea. There's no white and only black. There's a big gray zone in between, in which most people are in, where they don't have well-being and they are not yet sick. And that gently, gradually degenerates and goes into this area where lifestyle diseases appear. I hope this is making some kind of sense. Most people will start to degenerate and slip into having less and less and less well-being, and then more and more chance of having a disease, and then maybe one of those nasty diseases which medicine cannot cure, but health can. That is the beauty of it. And what we found is when we can infuse health into the body with a program that we have, then the well-being starts to come up, because the body can recover beautifully if you allow it to. And those diseases do tend to disappear. I'm not making any claims. I'm just saying what we've seen, that these diseases gently do tend to disappear. So that is the introduction to the concept of health. And I yearn and want every single person to get back to the way this body and our mind is supposed to feel and be, in a state of WHO described well-being. And that's why I'm chatting with you this evening. And I hope I can get that desire in you where you want to find out what this is and get it as well. So what we're going to do is I'd like to share a little presentation with you so I stay on track. There are just some extremely simple questions that we can be answering together. Because somebody at one time asked me these questions and they got me thinking. I've had to change my thinking a lot over the last many years. And by changing my thinking, I've been able to change my health profile. I feel many, many years younger than my age. It's because I was able to change my thinking. If we hang on to certain concepts that we have, the same concepts which have got us the health which is not optimal maybe, then we will continue to have that kind of health because we continue to have that thinking. But if we accept and yield to the thinking that makes sense, and we change our thinking and change some of our paradigms, then our health can also change. You cannot have a different result if you keep doing the same thing. So let's start off with these interesting questions. They are not examination questions, they are fun questions, which maybe will help you to think. Take a piece of paper and pencil, write down these questions. If the answer comes up for you immediately, that's beautiful. Write it down. Don't share it with anyone, just with yourself. Some of the questions maybe you need to think about. And if you need to think about them, do think about them tonight before your head hits the pillow. A friend has shared this link with you. He's your confidant or she is your friend. They are attached to one of our coaches. Who will be able to discuss these from there. So what's the first question? Is your health an asset or is your health a liability? And this is a strange question because most of us associate assets with money. हाँ मेरा FD है, that's an asset. And the income that you get from that, the dividend or the interest that you get from that is an asset. How can we call health an asset, man? Well, health can be an asset. When you have this well-being, and this is what we found, we work better than we worked before. We are more vibrant than we think before. We can respond better than we did before. We have more strength to work than we did before. We have more stamina. We have more creativity. We radiate energy much more. We are able to communicate with people much more in our work, in our relationships, and that's an asset. Even if you want to consider it financially based, for the sake of discussion, well, if you work better, you generate a better income. It's just that simple. In any case, you feel so much better. Is your health like that? Or do you come back from work and you're so freaking tired, you don't feel like doing anything, and towards the end of your work, you're just thinking about going home? Sometimes when you reach work, you feel like going home. When you wake up in the morning, are you feeling bright and fresh? Or you feel like going to bed again? And when you're in bed at night, you don't get sleep. You're not sleepy. Is your health really vibrant or is it a liability? How can your health be a liability? That's more obvious. Medication costs money. When things go even worse, constant tests cost money. When things go even worse, doctors' fees cost money. When things go even worse, procedures cost money. And when things get even really worse, surgeries cost money, a lot of money. And people seem to be very content with having health insurance. But what about the toll on the family? Everyone running to the hospital, staying in the bed, scheduling, not feeling good, scheduling appointments. Is your health an asset or is your health a liability? Is the first question. And if it is a liability, how important is it to you to make it an asset? Because we can help you to do that. The next question, whether you consider your health to be an asset or a liability, is let's, for the fun of it, rate your health as per your perspective. Where 10 is optimal health, your health cannot be better, man. You are this dynamo. You feel invincible. You don't fall sick at all. Like us, very humbly, we are very grateful because of our changed thinking, because of the things that we did differently, because of the trust that we had in people who guided us. We don't fall sick. We don't get these viral things. We don't get khasi, sardi, bukhar. I can't remember when last I was in bed, and all my coaches and friends who follow this program are the same. But this is a long-term change. We've been using this program for about now many years. How would you like that to be, a 9 or a 10? But let's come down to the main point. Today, how would you rate your health? Where 10 is like optimal health and 1 is like, poor part health. Okay, 0 is dead maybe. So are you a 1 or are you a 10 or are you 5 or are you 6 or are you 7? No one's going to check this. No one's going to argue with you. It's your subjective feeling. Is it really important? Not really right now, because I'm coming to another point. You can use any of the guidelines that we have described. 10 years back, wasn't your score higher? So let's say today you're a 6, just giving you a ballpark figure. Let's say you've written down today I'm a 6. Write down 2010 on the left-hand side. What was your score? Wasn't it an 8? Hasn't your score gone down? 99% of the time, people's score will have gone down. How will they have gone down? We will have a look. But usually it's people putting on weight, not being able to move well enough, not having that much energy, feeling tired. And now comes the main point. We are looking at trends. We are looking at patterns. We are looking at directions. 10 years from now, in 2030, what's your score going to be? If you look at the trend, if you look at the progression, if you look at the degeneration of your health from 2020, from 2010 to 2020, what's it going to be in the next 10 years? What's your six going to become? 4 maybe? If just now you just have a pain in your knee, which after you walk for about 45 minutes or so, your knee hurts pretty bad and you need to stop. 10 years from now, what's that going to become? If today your doc is maybe telling you you've got pre-diabetes, in 10 years, what's that going to become? What we are offering you is we can make your score, whatever it is today, 10, not in the next 10 years, man, in the next few months. And if you really follow what your coach tells you and follow what we advise to the T, 100%, that is almost a certainty. That is almost a certainty because the body works according to a system. So once you've understood all these ratings, let's move to the next question. What don't you like about your health today? Why have you rated yourself with the score that you have rated yourself? What has made you rate your health that way? As I said before, you don't like your weight. Weight is one of the biggest problems that people are facing today. They try to lose their weight. They don't manage to do it, or they manage to do it and it comes right back again. Are you worried about your immunity? Today, everyone's talking about immunity. You can't flash your immunity like that, man. It's not like an antibiotic. Even an antibiotic takes 48 hours to work, maybe, but I don't want to even compare it. How is your immunity? What kind of resistance do you have? Most people, it's not. If everyone's immunity was high, I don't think we'd have this kind of situation today. People are not focusing on their health, man. They are focusing on their job and their visiting cards and their incomes and many their entertainment and TV. And where is health? Who's talking about health? Who's doing the things required to have robust, dynamic health? From today, you will. I know it. I hope I can inspire to do that. How are you feeling? How are you feeling? Are you feeling bright? Would you like to feel bright? We do. We can help you do that. Do you want to get rid of your medication? I'm not making promises. But I'm saying if you follow this program over the long term, it is very, very, very possible that gradually your lifestyle your disease could reduce. And maybe over time, maybe you could get rid of it. Many people have. Let's spend a moment to think, why is all this happening? Why are we losing our health? Why are we losing our well-being? Why doesn't everyone have well-being by default? Well, we are entitled to well-being by default, but the way we live our lives, the way we live, the way we eat, the way we drink is really not up to the mark. It's not what the body wants. If you put the body in an optimal situation, optimal environment, it will function optimally. If you put the body in a suboptimal environment, it will start to malfunction. It's that clear. What is one of the essential reasons why we are not able to have immunity, not able to have energy, not able to have strength? Why is the body degenerating faster than it should or it does normally? Is because we're just not eating the way we should be. We are not giving the body the food that it needs to repair, to regenerate, to create the things required to fight disease, to fight these viruses. We are not eating the things designed to provide the body with well-being. Can the body create physical well-being? Of course it can, but it needs raw material for that. Can you build a building out of air? No. Can you make a building by meditating? No. Can you make a building by going to the gym? No. You need cement, you need reti, you need rods, you need a plan. And you need an architect and you need a coach who will supervise everything. You need to have these things, or where's the building going to come from? And yet, even though people say, yeah, iska dimag hai, ya kya hai, kaisa building, but your body is being built every day. And you say, what do you mean by that? My body is built. Oh, yes, it is. It is. But it is constantly breaking down and being rebuilt. And that most people don't understand. Our blood is constantly being recycled. That means all the cells in the blood are dying and they are being remade. Our RBC life is about 100 to 120 days. Everyone knows this. And at 120 days, the RBC is destroyed. Some things are taken away from what is got from the destruction of that cell. It is recycled, yes, maybe, but we need raw material to make more. Let's say what's in an RBC. In an RBC, I'm giving you a simple example which everybody understands. But there are billions and millions of ideas like this and things like this going on in the body. RBC contains hemoglobin. Now you know that. You get your hemoglobin checked all the time. What is hemoglobin? Hemoglobin is the substance in a red blood corpuscle which binds with oxygen and carries oxygen from the lungs all over to the body. Is that an important function? Yes, it is perhaps the most important function. What is this hemoglobin, boss? Heme is iron, globin is a protein. So the organs which create and make and manufacture hemoglobin need iron and need that protein and many, many, many other catalysts and vitamins and proteins to create the molecule of hemoglobin. So suppose, let's say the liver is making hemoglobin or the bone marrow is making hemoglobin. It's important to understand these things, man. And it's making this and it tells the center that, look, boss, I need this many grams of iron and I need this much protein just to make hemoglobin. And you say, nahi, utna iron to nahi milega, boss. Kha hi nahi raha hu to kaise milega? Utna protein nahi hai, protein to itna nahi kha raha hu main, protein nahi milega. So what is the quality of the hemoglobin? What is the quality of the immunoglobulin system? All the immunoglobulins are proteins. How are your WBCs? What is the status of your hormones? What is the state of your endocrines? What is the status of your enzymes? What is the status of your muscle? What is the status of your bone? All these things are dissolving and being made again on a daily basis. And we need hundreds and thousands of types of nutrients required as raw material to keep the body functioning optimally. This is a fact. It's not a strange concept that we have just come up with. Medical science knows that if you have less vitamin D or you're vitamin D deficient, you get rickets. Today you get osteoporosis, but there are hundreds and thousands of them more. We are not getting the food that we eat. Even if you're very, very careful, you're not getting it because what was in the food before is not there today. Even over the last 40, 50 years, and definitely over the last 100 years, because of constantly debauing the soil and putting chemical fertilizer and growing and harvesting and growing and harvesting, there's nothing left in the soil anymore. It has been shown that anywhere from 40 to 70% of nutrients are decreased in the fruits and vegetables that we are eating. There's nothing left in the soil anymore, man. 7 out of 10 Indians are vitamin deficient. Now, this we don't understand. The Harvard says that we need to be eating certain things every day. We are not eating those things. And we have a very, very dangerous nutrition gap. This is a known fact. This nutrition gap is the reason for people not having well-being. One of the reasons for not having well-being. Obesity is another one. I think if we forget about the obesity part, even if we are obese, but if we can raise the level of our nutrition, we'll still be better off. It is better to be obese with good nutrition than to be obese with bad nutrition. Obviously, it's better to have a good BMI profile and have good nutrition so that you have perfect health. I hope this has made sense. Am I just highlighting a problem and then leaving it to you to solve it? No. We have managed to solve it. So we have concentrated food, which we make available to us, and we close that gap, not with chemicals, but with natural food, concentrated. And in the next session, if you'd like to come and learn about that, we will be discussing that further. Let's move on for now. I mentioned obesity for a minute. Obesity is a huge problem, and every single non-government organization plus every single medical association across the globe is alarmed. Well, before this virus came, but this virus will pass, okay? Definitely. Obesity is here to stay. It is 100% known beyond all doubt, statistically, epidemiologically, that people who are obese have a very, very, very high risk of getting any and all of the lifestyle diseases, including several types of cancers. If you're overweight, not by your estimation of whether you're overweight or whether you're obese, but by the WHO guidelines of BMI, which is body mass index. If your BMI is over 23, you are either overweight or obese. If it's over 25, you are obese. And I really, really, as a friend, think you need to do something about it. Do whatever you want about it, but get your BMI into the normal range of 18 to 22.9. If you don't know how to do it and you've tried and it's not worked, then we are there. We have had many, many, many people, hundreds of people who have lost a lot of weight and who have become healthy. And many or most of them have lost their lifestyle diseases as well, in addition to losing their weight. And the majority of them have maintained that weight profile, which is, this is not a weight loss program. It's a be healthy and happy for life program. Do something about that obesity, and we can help you to do that. How are we going to do it? I'm giving you just a gist of an idea. We don't have any jantar mantar. We don't do anything fancy. This is not a trendy kind of thing, which today is a vogue and tomorrow will be gone. Our program is completely designed and based on WHO, Harvard principles. And it works simply by understanding that we'll have to change our daily lifestyle habits. Unless we change the way we think, and unless we change the way we treat this body and think about this body and love this body and feed this body, it's not going to become healthy. You cannot just do whatever you want and get a different result. And all that you'll have to do is just change a few things in your day, which you know you should be doing anyway. Many people want to do all these things, but the reason that they don't manage to do it in the normal span of their life is because they don't make health their number one priority till health says you pushed it too far. The body's reserve has gone too low. Now you give my health a number one priority. And very often by then it's too late. You don't, instead of like just completely devoting your life to your health because it's gone down the tube, it doesn't make sense. It's better to invest a little bit from now, every day, like an investment, because your health, you want to become an asset. So you invest a little time, invest a little focus in your health every day, invest. So for life, you are robust. Your health never attracts and decides and grabs your life. You've seen, relatives and friends, and maybe there have been times in your life where everything has become your health. You don't think of anything except your health because you have to. Why? Why do you want to wait for things to happen bad and do something? Might as well do things when things are good because you're smart, so that nothing bad ever happens, or the chance of something bad happening reduces like crazy, man. So make your health your number one priority. People say, no, mera kaam hai, mere ko time nahi mil raha hai, bacche log ka exam aa raha hai. All that you can do as long as you have your health. Somebody is in the ICU, he can't do anything. What about the kids' exams? What about the boss? What about the laptop? What about the project? Remember that. Have a different perspective. I hope this is making sense to you. Let's talk about changing a few daily habits every day. We talk about what that is in the next session. We call it the Health Start session. I think you should come and attend that session again. Also, provided you really are agreeing that you'll have to make health your number one priority. Whatever it is, don't come to assess, come to start. It's a health start. If this doesn't make sense to you, don't come for the next session. But if this makes sense to you and you want to find out more because you want to start, then come. Because we are doing this out of the goodness of our heart, and we are not here to impress anyone or to create any waves or likes or anything like that. Man, I don't even know what that is. Now, I guarantee you that every single daily habit that we will recommend to you to alter or to change, you have to do it. You've been telling yourself you have to do it. It's no great shakes. It is no complicated formula. But you don't do it. You don't do it. I didn't do it. Most people don't do it. Like, let me give you an example. Just an example. Don't feel bad. But suppose you are overweight. Suppose you are 20 kilos overweight. Many, many, many people are 20 kilos overweight. You're 20 kilos overweight. You're 20 kilos obese. Should you be eating samosas? No. Still you eat. Should you be eating jalebi? No, still you eat. Should you be eating 10 puris? No, still you eat. Why? कौन बोलेगा कुछ? बाप का राज है. अभी नया बाप आया है. Every single person who has succeeded in life, be it in sports, be it in medicine, be it in law, be it in chartered accountancy, very often be it in business, be it in startups, almost every single person has a coach or a mentor. That a coach helps people to do what they don't want to do so that they can get what they want to get and be who they want to be. That's a coach. We have the facility to coach people. We are not theoretical coaches. Have we gone for some degree course? Some of us have. Some of us are certified nutritionists and all that, not me. But this is just simply that we have followed the same exact program because someone helped us with it and we are just passing it forward. We are just sharing that program with other people like you. So we have a health coach system, and this coach will hold your hand on a day-to-day basis. Like every athlete who succeeded had a tough coach. Did Sachin have a coach? Of course he did. Everybody has a coach. Everybody successful in business says, this is my guide and this is my coach. In medicine, we follow consultants. I mean, who's coaching you in your health? Nobody. You're doing it yourself. Look what happened. Get a coach. You've already found one. Your friend is either a coach or a senior coach himself or herself, or they will introduce you to a coach or a senior coach. Today, I think you should look at it, because the only thing separating you from your rating of health, of be it 5 or 6 or 7 or 2, coming up to a 10, is just a matter of a few months. I just want to give you hope today. I want to inspire you today to do something different, to change your thinking and come for the next session. Call your friend immediately. Call your friend and say, I want to book myself into the next session right away. Work this program. Imandari, say like you've not worked any program. Forget your excuses, forget everything, and work this program with us for 90 days, for 3 months. In 3 months, you look me in the eye and you'll be telling me, ma'am, my life has changed. I tell you, that is going to happen. That is what we talk about. We are gunning to get you to be optimally healthy. All you have to do is contact your friend and say, I'd love to come into the next workshop. If you want to get started right away, a coach could get you started right away also, but I would love to sit down and talk to you. I'm feeling a little lost looking at this screen and talking. I am used to talking to people one-on-one. Many of my coaches and senior coaches have these sessions, used to have these sessions till we got locked up in our homes. And we will soon be meeting you, and I look forward to meeting you looking bright, glowing, fresh, happy, healthy, understanding what is health. Today you've been introduced to health, then you will get health. It's been very nice chatting with you. I just really, really hope this has made a difference to you. And I look forward to meeting you in the very near future. Have a good night and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rashid Mehta, for this wonderful session and for sharing such vital facts, giving us such a wonderful perspective on health. Friends, I'm sure you are inspired and motivated to get started. So get in touch with your friend and register yourself for the next detailed session. Good night. Have a good evening.
Thanks a lot, Doc.